Players come back. Pelicans finally win a game. We're going to talk about it.
First took away. That's the best. Get your money's worth out.
We are live here for another episode of Pro Pels Talk here, man. Please, man, this program is brought to you by Scott Vicknair Injury Lawyers. If you have been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, Herb Jones, 18-wheeler, hurt offshore, Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give him a call, y'all. 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. Yes, a free consultation. They always fight for the win. Lido, 5. What up, y'all?
What's popping, dog? What's popping, dog?
Hey, man, that's a nice hat. That's a nice hat you got on there.
Hey, man. I got a couple, you know what I'm saying? If you need one, I got one.
I need a hat, son.
Oh,
I need a hat for my baby.
She got it. It's already her.
There you go. So look, man, we here, man. Look, I didn't think we would be talking or doing a recap where the Pelicans won a game ever again. I was totally accepting that this team went 4-78 or whatever the record ends with the total amount of games. But Pelicans get a win here at home, a win in a clutch. Brandon Ingram comes back, Herb Jones comes back. They win 126-124. Chat, as always, man. Ross, what up, brother?
What up? What up, man?
So
Chat, as always, like, comment, subscribe, show the show love. Yeah. Let's get into it, man. So Pelicans tried to, give away a game multiple times. But in a game in a season where wins have not been they haven't been allowed, they get a chance and they somehow find a way to break. I don't know if they broke the Devin Booker curse, but this is probably one of the better performances they've had against Devin Booker in the Smoothie King Arena in a long time. 5, I'm gonna start with you. What are your overall thoughts about Pelicans winning? And we'll talk about the clutch later on, but just the win in general.
Man, it's almost just good just to get a win, right? Just it may not have been as clean as you would have wanted it to be, or sometimes you would have hoped for a loss, to be honest, if you think about draft positions and stuff like that. But all wins aren't created equal, but they all look the same, right? At the end of the night, it's all going to be the same. The Pelicans are going to win in the most Pelican way by giving people a heart attack. That's just no different than any other time that we watched the Pelicans get to the final moments of a game that they should have won easily, almost give it away, and yet sneak out with the victory. Just wouldn't have expected any other way, but here we are with celebratory hats on our heads to talk about it post-game.
Lido, yeah, man. I mean, look, it wasn't pretty. Specific. I'd say if I could point to a couple quarters or points in the game, the second quarter was pretty ugly, and then you saw multiple parts of the fourth quarter. But all things considered, I mean, I don't know if I would have picked them to win this game, regardless of Brandon Ingram and Herb Jones being back. You always think about guys having to knock off rust, guys being tired, guys being winded. What did you make of welcoming those guys back into the rotation, having Trey Murphy come off the bench? What did you see how that whole dynamic worked? Game one here of some big returns.
Because before I answer your question, I gotta say, Buku Stat Guy, we good? What's up? Yeah, right?
Say y'all, Buku Stat Guy crashed out on us yesterday, man. But we back, man. It's all love, man.
What the hell y'all did to the intern?
We pissed them off, man. But it wasn't our fault.
Trying to make sure we square, bro.
Look. He said we pissed him off, but it wasn't our fault. Whose fault was it?
Go ahead, Lido.
Trying to get some stats. The trade coming off the bench thing, it don't really bother me, to be honest. I mean, I feel like we said this would happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we said that like the lineup was gonna fall in the line that way. Can never see Herb or CJ going to the bench. But I tell you what, man, I don't know if it's that. Shout out to Theos. I don't know if it's been I don't know how stated it's been, but I feel like it's been a little understated. Man, Christian been playing good, bro. Like Christian been hooping. And if you look at the game tonight, you had a point guard on the floor, and it ends up being Christian who leads the team in assists. Like he was in his bag. He's been in his bag, to be honest. It was good to see BI back on the floor. It was good to see BI play with. I wanted to see the dynamic. First of all, let me say this. I never wanted BI and DeJounte Murray on the same team. Like I never wanted it. It was good to see though the intermingling of their skill sets tonight, because a lot of times DeJounte would do lead guard things. He would dribble the ball up the floor, hurry up and get into the set, and then he might look back and see Brandon and just kind of slip past the ball to him. And you seen Brandon either go with his move or he'll immediately give it back, as if it's a nonverbal communication that they're having on how they, who feels comfortable in operating the set. But anyways, man, I like, of course, it's good when you get all your players back. That definitely helps get you a win.
Ross, speaking of what got you a win, I mean, we're gonna talk Brandon Ingram at some point here. I'll say that for the next segment here. But in my opinion, Herb Jones won the game. Herb Jones, I mean, he literally won the game, but his second half was incredible. And somebody, I forgot who tweeted it to me here, but they say it's amazing to have a guy come back and not have to play himself into shape, not have to worry about, like, he didn't look tired. And while he finished with 12.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. I mean, the box score is one thing. He made plays beyond the box score as he typically does, rotating defensively. If he didn't get the rebound, he was there boxing out perfectly. He made some clutch shots. He made a clutch 3 specifically in the corner late when they needed it. I think he got a tap on a jump ball. I mean, you name it, Herb was involved. 32 minutes first game back. Just talk about Herb and the night that he had and how critical, how important he is to this team.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was a couple points where he was just okay, but I mean, it definitely was like a vintage Herb performance, in total, right? I mean, he does all of these other little non-box score things. He hustles, dives on the floor. There were a couple loose balls or rebounds that he tips, and we end up getting control. Just shit like that if you're not watching the game, you kind of don't see. But for me, it's really not about any of that kind of stuff. It's about he's the one player you have that when there's 3 seconds left and the other team's trying to get the ball to their best player, that like I feel somewhat comfortable in a one-on-one situation. And like for me, that's his value. Yeah, he does all these other things, but this has been a team, and they tried to again tonight, that loses these games. Like they're not closers. They don't know how to put teams away, and so when you get in these type of opportunities, like you really have to be able to capitalize. And sometimes it does just come down to one player doing one thing right in the very end moment, and that was Herb. So I think from that perspective, it's like it's good to get him back, because even in isolated defensive situations, he can save you. I didn't think we were good defensively tonight by a long shot, but in isolated defensive situations, he's still very, very good.
Well said, man. Look, man, 256 people in here, man. Y'all be sure, man. Cole said it best. Cole in his right mind, tonight. Yesterday, I don't know what was going on, but Cole here, man. We
who pop up.
Yeah. Hey. Look, before I forget, tots after
it's
every
been like a month.
Hey, we don't know when this will happen ever again, but it happened. It happened tonight. It happened. Listen, we're gonna celebrate for right now. 5. You were one of the first people, ironically, when Herb Jones last wore 5 last year. You were the first person that I heard call Herb Jones not just a leader, but the leader. Yeah. for this team. There's a certain level of confidence and calm on a very erratic, unorganized basketball team that we feel like lacks a lot of structure and has some coaching flaws and even some talent fit issues. Just a different level. He brings a different level of smooth and confidence, I feel like, that leads to your point about him just being a leader, even if he's not the dude that's gonna, lead the pregame huddle. He gonna get everybody together after the game necessarily. That may not be his job. When we talking about on the floor, everybody seems to have just a different level of confidence, knowing I got that dude next to me. I'm straight.
Yeah. First of all, shout out to 504 boy. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you. Always showing love. Always starting the game off right. Always getting his pre-shot workout in. So starting off with a 10-piece. Listen, Herb has always been that dude. And I think for one point, we heard that Willie Green was upset when Dyson got traded, right? He'd probably cry tears if Herb got traded. Herb covers up so much of Willie Green's bullshit. It's insane. We've seen this team and how they've looked without Herb. And now you kind of can just see like the impact that Herb has on this team when he's around. Defensively, he can be in any spot at one time. He gives confidence or instills confidence in his teammates. Just being around. And also, I think it was kind of good that he was able to sit back and watch the game a little bit to come out with 7 rebounds. That wasn't like a typical Herb Jones thing. I think that was the most impressive thing, that him have 7 rebounds. So he probably saw like, all right, this is where I can impact the game or be beneficial and help my team now that there's no Jonas. Herb is the linchpin for this team, right? No matter if Zion plays, Brandon plays, CJ plays, no matter what, if Herb Jones is on the court, you actually have a legitimate chance to win the game. And I don't think you really can say that without him, to be honest.
I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat asking where is Justin. He is currently hopefully about to celebrating a victory. He's coaching tonight, so shout out to Justin. Doing God's work. Hopefully they came away. Yeah. Hopefully they came. They came out with a win. I believe they were playing. They're playing Curtis. So shout out to Justin out there. With his tie on. If y'all see him out there, man, y'all got nephews. That be at the. Y'all just pulling up to the games, man. Y'all give Justin Napoli y'all give him a salute. Salute. You know what I mean? I see you. Go hard on the Lito, anything else about Herb Jones before we move to BI?
Man, everything Five said, bro. He a difference maker without even having to be involved. Like the action don't even have to be on the side of the floor, but the threat of Herb Jones. I was thinking about this earlier. Like there was a play tonight where Herb was he was in between the free throw line in the 3-point line on the right side of the floor, and might have been on the left side, and a pass was skipped to that side of the floor, and Herb, he did the Ed Reed thing again. He bait and switched him into a steal, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, it's no way he'll be able to get to that pass. Like, it's no way, and he literally just pivoted, turned, and stole the ball, and it's like. Things like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going on a highlight reel. Nobody really, like, telling their kids sit down and, like, look what Herb Jones did tonight. But, like, those are the things that are important and that lead to wins. I keep saying Herb Jones is a player on the championship team. Yeah. Now, whether that team is here or not, I don't know. But at some point, Herb Jones is going to win a ring.
Hey, also, and to even add to Lito's point, Herb Jones got his high school number retired, right? Seems like every player except a couple were there to honor him, even some members of the coaching staff. But people that were even getting let go that day were there to show love to Herb Jones. They probably knew that being there, and they were still there to, celebrate Herb Jones getting his jersey retired. It just isn't a given. I mean, I think you just show up for people that, show love. So I think that's a respect level of Herb Jones in that locker room.
I mean, look, Zion was there, and hey,
Hey,
it's sometimes hard to get him to show up for the things you pay him to do. So you get him to show up for a ceremony of somebody else, like
Yeah.
you matter, bro. So, prospect, to answer your question, I don't know, but I imagine
Pills like
khakis.
that.
You
said
know,
khakis.
yeah, definitely khakis. Some nice Dockers to be exact. I would assume a nice sweater vest. That
Oh
would be
no,
Yeah.
come on, you know good. Nah, you went too far. You know
Nice
good
little
damn well,
pullover.
Justin. You know good and damn well, Justin ain't show up in no damn sweater vest.
He
Man.
did have a suit jacket on once.
He might wear a suit jacket, or he's gonna hit you with like a like one of these
Polo?
joints.
Zip, half zip, quarter zip.
Half zip,
He's
quarter
not
zip.
showing up. He's not showing up with no Jim Tressel damn sweater. Cut that out, man.
Jim Tressel.
The names that I thought I wouldn't hear on this podcast.
Oh man, look, man. Lito, we got.
Yeah, Ross said.
Man. All right, look, y'all. We gotta talk Brandon Ingram, man. He ended tonight here with 29 points on 10 of 19 shots, went 3 for 6 from 3, 6 for 6 from the free throw line, couple steals, but ultimately had one of his best quarters, I think, as a Pelican. I think the third quarter was the most points, or it was tied for the most points that he's had in a quarter in his career. 21 points, crucial in the Pelicans kind of coming back in the game. They were coming into the third quarter down, I believe, 10. And from, I mean, I watched, all right.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I've seen Brandon attempt 4 threes in a row. And I believe that there was a period of third quarter where he shot 4 threes in a row, and I know he made at least 2 of them. Big time, momentum swing. That's something that we wouldn't have seen from him, I would say, specifically over the last 2 years. Ross, while he couldn't find a bucket, and it was a lot of ugly possessions, turnovers in the fourth quarter. You blame that on who you want. As we continue to move forward in the season with Brandon Ingram, do games like tonight, going against a Devin Booker, going against Bradley Beal, whatever, moments where he's the best or looks like the best player on the floor, has some of the best moments on the floor, does that change your opinion on him long term? Maybe not even with this team, but just where he could go as a player going forward.
It doesn't change, I think, my opinion on like what he could do here. But I mean, I think he probably would agree. Him becoming a better 3-point shooter is an absolute necessity for him, like his longevity in the league. I mean, I don't, that to me feels like a no-brainer. And so the fact that he's willing to shoot more of them and is making more of them, like, yeah, I mean, I think that can be useful for him long-term. It was the gift and the curse, right? It was the good and the bad with Brandon today. I thought, I mean, the third quarter, awesome, right? Incredible, 21 points, shot you back into the game. That was awesome. I thought the fourth quarter he was downright horrible. There were 2 or 3 possessions late in the fourth where we needed a bucket. We played iso ball, whether that's him or whether that's being designed. And I think that's where you get back into it's like, I liked what I saw in the third, but that's not at all what I saw in the fourth. And I don't know whether that's still to this day, don't know whether that's coaching or whether that's Brandon. But nonetheless, I mean, I think, after missing whatever it was a few weeks, it was good to see even in an isolated moment in the third quarter, how well he played. Because I think that combined with Herb late in the game is really what won you this game. But I don't want to forget about CJ, because I agree with what Lito said earlier. I think CJ's been great, but Brandon was incredible in the third.
Yeah, I mean, between Lito and 5, or if you want to continue your point on CJ, like the fourth quarter was CJ McCollum, pretty much from start to finish. When they made subs and he was out there with, I believe, Trey Murphy and Missy in Boston. I'm forgetting the other player that was out there with him, but had a bunch of clutch buckets. I would say. I mean, even early in the game, while he just looked to have a little bit more energy, even defensively, right? Just small things like the him and Devin Booker get tied up for a basketball. CJ swings the basketball. Booker's on the ground, right? We think it's about to be an issue. They like nah. We just they got tied up. They hooping, right? They understand like it's a competitive game. But CJ, my dog, go off, man.
Go off.
Appreciate that, dog. Appreciate all the super chat. What is going on with this dog? Man, salute. But CJ had an incredible fourth quarter, and it got to a point to where like they were going to live or die by his decisions in the fourth. When DeJounte Murray had the ball in his hands at one point, he was a prize possession, supposed to be the person that helped you in these clutch situations, right? That's what they said. That's what they said in the press conference, right? DeJounte was going to help you win clutch games because you could not win them at all last year. He didn't have the basketball. Brandon Ingram didn't have the basketball. It was CJ's show. And I mean, for the most part, I mean, look, he delivered. He missed that last free throw, but was incredibly important in them winning that game. And I don't think it's gonna get talked about enough.
CJ is just a showman, bro. Like at this point, I think he's trying to show the lead that he still can play, and depending on what teams come calling, because eventually they will, for his expertise and his ability to catch and shoot, and still be able to make off the dribble or be a secondary guy. I think that's where CJ will lie, and a lot of teams will come calling, and he'll have conversations with Griff and hopefully another GM about where he would want to be, right? Like that's what CJ is doing right now. To be honest, a couple of weeks ago when he first came back, I didn't think he was ready. To be honest, I thought they try to rush him back to try to salvage the season, and I don't think it was fair to him. But probably being CJ, saying like, "Nah, I'll be all right. I'll push through it." To be honest, I didn't think he needed to. I think CJ proved enough. Him playing tonight, this is nothing we didn't know CJ could do. This isn't out of the norm. This is just a guy that played. He's like 33 and he played 37 minutes tonight. Like, come on now. Like, what do we? And he was a guy you were going to, not the guy you paid the most money on the team, not the guy that's vying for a $50 million contract that looked tired at the end of the game. I thought Brandon Ingram played well, but again, like, let's take a step back and look at this game with a full context. Brandon's the guy that wants a lot of money, that's Clutch is pushing to get out of New Orleans to get into a winning environment, but yet they're using the Pelicans to try to do so. It's all about angles and how you view it, but CJ's at this point like, all right, well, cool. Nobody really wants to be here. I came here to kind of help you guys. You guys really just don't look like you want help. So let me help myself out of here and get to a better position. And CJ looks like he's trying to do so in a very good way.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like, so to Fav's point, I said in the offseason, you would have to showcase Brent. Like, if you really trying to trade him, you would have to showcase him early in the season in order to prove his value or to regain his value. But I feel like, I mean, I've been saying this too. He's not getting traded. Like, I think that you probably lose Willie before they trade Brandon. And I think that's just how the game go. CJ's been, I mean, I said this off the pod. He's been masterful. That skirmish between him and Book, I ain't gonna lie to you. I know CJ was involved in it, but I strictly feel like that happened because DeJounte and Herb was on the floor. Like, I'm dead ass. Because if you after the dust up or whatever, the Ross, give me an ism for that. Give me an ism.
I mean, dust up is pretty good.
Okay.
I mean,
y'all claiming that one? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that one might have a little more crossover appeal, but like dust up is right there on the line.
Crossover up there.
Yeah.
Bilateral.
After the dust up, man. You saw who you saw. If you looked at the camera, like Herb was smiling. He was smiling. I'm like, this man's sick. Like he thriving off this negativity. And DeJounte just turned around and started clapping. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just something to. I mean, you have it in Jose, put a battery in somebody's back, but it's not like it just hasn't been like this. And Chris, you didn't ask this question, but I just found this kind of like weird, dog. Like I just don't understand what we doing. It's BI first game back, 37 minutes. Herb Jones 35 minutes. And I'm like, what be happening to all the minutes restrictions and all the like saving players from themselves?
You want to we pod?
Yeah, let's pod.
Because is that an actual thing, or does that only really apply itself to certain players that don't take care of themselves properly, to where you gotta put them through programs before they're ready, unless they're coming back from a season-long, injury. You know what I mean? Like when Trey came back when Trey came back this year, he had a minutes restriction. When he came back last year from the knee? I don't remember what it was. He had a minutes restriction. But if we talking, listen, ain't nobody else going through minute burst. 5 minutes at a 6 minutes at a time. No, and they desperate right now. They gotta win. So what? At least that's how they gotta be. They desperate. So what do they have to lose? They've lost enough already for everybody here. We only get a chance to play this video because they don't win.
So bad. So nasty, Doug.
So that whole video paused.
But it is always like ridiculous to me that nobody else needs to go through 3-on-3 and 4-on-4 and all this bullshit that they put Zion through. CJ came back, played 4 games, oldest dude on the team, averaging like 35 minutes a night. Brandon comes back, plays 37. And like, I look, to be clear, I don't have a problem with this. Yeah. I don't for me, you got to play 82 games, man. That's what the job calls for. I don't, to me, whether you play 31 minutes or 36 minutes, I mean, that's just the job. But it's annoying that Zion has to, gets this baby version of playing basketball, and everybody else is like, no, they can just play. I don't even feel like spending our time talking about Zion, to be honest.
Who?
But, yeah, exactly.
Talking more about the guys that played tonight. Let's talk about the small ball lineups. Pelicans closed. It's gonna be interesting, specifically with this roster, even if they're not healthy. So even with this particular roster, Yves Missy's been one of your more impactful players, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have so many different guys that need to be on the floor at once. When you put your death lineup on the floor, your small ball lineup, the lineup that you said in training camp was gonna destroy teams, Yves isn't on the floor. In fact, even when you needed a rebound or a defensive stop, he was not on the floor. What do you guys think about, the positive, negative about that lineup that I believe ended the second quarter, and then the last, I believe, 4 minutes of the fourth?
I had to look at the lineup again, but I'm pretty sure Trey Murphy was on the floor at this point.
Yeah. So it was DeJounte, Herb, Trey, CJ, Brandon.
It's him. It's Trey, to be honest. It's no one else. It's Trey Murphy. And if you can't have a game where you play 33 minutes and you only get 2 rebounds like that, he's the problem. I mean, Herb having 7 rebounds is cool, but it's you're really the issue here. And again, we like Trey, right? You just signed a contract, bro. Cool, you got your money. This is where you show it. This is where you show it. Like the not playmaking, right? Being able to do the little things. I don't care if you can take somebody off the dribble. I really don't. I'm not really trying to see that at this point. But can you do the small things to make your game better? And it's always pointing the rebound. We always go back to it. All right, I don't think Messi at this point will be able to close a game in theory, right? Because offensively, like especially against a really good team, they're gonna make a way to get him off the floor. And I think Trey Murphy should be the guy you should be able to close with, to be able to, all right, you're 6'10", you're long enough, you can switch with everybody, at least stay in front of some people, some guards at least, and be able to pause bang with the bigger men. Cool. hey, I prefaced it. Hey. Hey. So you got to be able to rebound the ball in these situations when you're the tallest guy on your team on the floor at that time. Hey,
Look,
man.
Before basically what Five
Don't
said,
settle. Go hard on them dudes. Everybody's trying to play the right way. Salute. Be aggressive.
Hey, man. You gotta protect. It's like, never mind. I can't even say that. Can't even say it, bro. Can't even say it.
Little, how you feel about the small ball lineup, man? Pluses, negatives. Yep.
I'm with everything Five said about Trey.
Even the last part.
I'm with like. Well, I'm with like 3/4.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Bro.
Hey, somebody said I call Geico.
Oh God, it's giving me a headache. Oh man,
Chad is crazy, dog.
Oh my God, dog! I'm telling you, that's getting clipped up, bro.
Is that like an insurance claim, like a fraud insurance claim? That's what it is.
Hey yo.
It's crazy, man.
The lineup.
No. The lineup cool, but I just want to spend some time talking about Trey because like if the lineup go work, he gotta be the motherfucker that make it work. You know what I'm saying?
But what he gotta do though?
He gotta do. To be honest, bro, he gotta do a couple things. He gotta be aggressive. And he gotta be aggressive.
But what he gotta do against the bigger men on the team?
Why you keep? What's up with you?
Go ahead. I'm muted. I'm not here. But
you need to file insurance claim. What's up?
You think he should be guarding? Do you think he should be guarding smaller players?
Me?
Yeah.
No, not so. Russ, not even. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What type of player should he guard?
The next,
what are we doing now?
The valuable player on the floor. That's like y'all are sick.
Shout out to Trey for the 2-piece, man.
Appreciate it
for the 2-piece, bro.
Man, look, what I'm saying is this: like we've been talking about Trey being a basketball player. We know he's a shooter, but he has to be a basketball player. He has you athletic as hell. Like at some point. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Good episode.
Yeah.
Hey.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Well, I know you was okay. All right.
No.
Sopranos is a classic. Come on now.
Yeah, Russ.
Ross been to the Bing. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Nah, Chris, listen, dog.
Thank you.
Trey gotta work on his handle. Like he gotta work on his handle is
Too late.
He's the vehicle. That's what I'm saying. He shot the mic. Like he gotta do more than just shoot the basketball. He gotta be a basketball player. You can't just be a shooter. You and Five. Look, I was thinking about this. I think at a certain point in the game, I think that he thinks about that money, and I think he's pressing.
I'm with you, Lito. And the two things right now, like currently in season, that he can change is screening and rebounding. The dribbling, that is not a fixable thing you can do right now.
Yeah,
you're not getting better at dribbling during it just doesn't work that way. That's an off-season trait that you got to build and skill. Now the rebounding is an effort thing, and the screening is a skill that's a tangible thing, just with I know it's the Pelicans coaching staff to kind of teach, but you need to go with Missy and do whatever he's trying to do and learn. You need to be right with him because the off ball, I mean, not say like off ball, but the on ball dribbling, trying to get through multiple defenders, that's just not your bag right now. It's just not.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as we wait for Ross to come back, look, I mean, he's 6'10", and we have been having this conversation. I believe that he should have started this game, and I believe one way he needs to be in the starting lineup. But even like you mentioned, Lito, for the small ball lineup to work, it's beyond the small ball lineups for him to reach whatever his ceiling is, for him to work. Coach Sip, shout out to Mike Cyprian, y'all like him, man.
Shout out to Sip, bro.
Film don't lie. But Trey got a rebound. He has to. He can't be a dude that's just a shooter. And I think the gravity that he gives you, the space that he gives you is one thing. What he can help you in transition is one thing. He got his hands on a lot of basketballs tonight, but he wasn't able to secure the rebounds. He wasn't able, we got deflections. We got, plays where he's trying to where the ball's on the ground. He picks it up trying to get down court, loses the basketball. He gets a ball in transition where you think it's gonna be a dunk. He loses the ball there, has to gather again before he gets a dunk. He has to do more than shoot. And I mean, a lot of it really revolves with him getting the basketball in his hands in other ways outside of shooting.
He's not gonna do that. He ain't. I don't think you can just like rebuild a player to the specifications that you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like
okay.
Trey has not rebounded since he's been in the NBA. He hasn't. Watch the games. Are there nights where somebody can get 7 or 8 rebounds? Of course. He's a finesse player. He's not a physical basketball player going seek out contact, which is the type of player you have to be if you want to rebound. Josh Hart, I don't think Josh Hart is more. They got 100 guys in college more skilled than Josh Hart, but he is a physical basketball player that is looking for the ball whenever it's shot.
Yep.
Trey Murphy isn't. That's not, his mind doesn't work that way. You're not. I don't think you're going to teach Trey Murphy at this point in his career to become a high volume rebounder. It's just. I think it's to a point. It's almost an unrealistic expectation. This is why I've kind of harped on this from the beginning that I don't think this small ball lineup can work for this reason. Because Zion also isn't that type of player. Like he's not that type of rebounder. We don't necessarily. I don't know like what to expect from Trey, and obviously I want him to rebound the ball better, but it's also like I don't know how to change that. I don't even know as a coaching staff how you change that because I'm struggling to think about a player in the NBA that went from somebody that I was like, dude, just don't ever go get a rebound to being like, oh, look at that. This dude's going to rebound the shit out of the basketball now.
So Ross, let me ask you something. And this is and this is for all you guys to answer. I was personally fixated coming into this season at the March and April he had last year. And I'm specifically talking rebounding, talking some of the things he was doing defensively. In 22 games, he averaged just about 6 rebounds a game. To me, that was it, right? That somewhere around 5 to 6 rebounds, I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
That some nights you're gonna have 10, other nights you're gonna have 3, you're gonna have 4. But you gotta average somewhere in that 5 or 6 range of rebounds, and the other guys should be able to make up for the rest there. Do you think that was a fluke?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean that's what he's averaging right now. 5 rebounds a game. Tonight was the 2, and the game before this was the 8 or whatever. And I mean, I guess that's my point. Is like, but I don't think that's enough. Like, I don't think that's. I don't find his attitude toward rebounding to be something that you can build a small ball lineup around. Does it mean it doesn't mean he's not going to average if you give him 30 minutes, he's not going to go get you 5 or 6 rebounds? Of course not. He's going to get 5 or 6 rebounds on average. But it's the intent toward rebounding that if you're going to say, hey, there's not Misi out there, there's not that JV out there, like, so you're not just getting secondary rebounds. It's like, no, you're the guy. You have to be the primary rebounder. I don't feel comfortable with him doing that.
And again, I know it all circles back for me. It's Willie Green, right? and I know that sounds crazy, but the fact that you don't run nothing for him, right, forces him to try to leak out, right? Forces him to try to shoot these secondary, threes from 40 feet out, right? And then it also forces him, when he does get the ball, to try to do too much, because he knows if I don't shoot this shit now, if I don't create for myself now, I'm not gonna get another touch. Like Trey, to be honest, has a set shot. It's not a fluid off the dribble shooting motion. It's just not. It almost reminds me of a woman's shot. Keep it 1,000. Like, it's a pretty shot, but it's a set shot. We don't run any plays for a set shooter. That makes no sense, right? Like, that doesn't make sense for a team that you just paid them a lot of money to do. Like, okay, how do you extract the value from the money that you just given them? Well, you should probably run some plays for him in positions that he can score at a high rate, which they don't do. So I don't necessarily blame Trey, to be honest, but also I do have to place some blame at his feet. Like, okay, cool. You have your money, you have responsibility. This is the part of the responsibility you have to take up on, because no one else is going to do it. Like, the team is probably going to be built in the future somewhere around you. This is on you now. So take some of this blame, get in there, rebound with the big boys. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what this is now. You can't be like Zion. You can't be like Brandon. You have to do it.
You make a good point, Five, and I think, like, his disengagement offensively, it shows up in the fact that he gets no offensive rebounds. Like, for his career, Trey is like the worst. We could go look. He's probably even that. He's probably the worst offensive rebounder on the team. Like, he gets no offensive rebounds. And part of that is shot selection, but the other part of that is, like, when you're not taking a three, where are you on the court? And he's never, like, he just isn't. I think for his career, he gets less than one offensive rebound a game, per 36 minutes. So not even per, like, his normal minutes. He's just a horrible offensive rebounder. And I think some of what Five's talking about is that you really never run anything for him. A lot of what he gets is just, take a three when you can take it. And so, I mean, there's some merit to that, I think.
I remember when he got drafted, I was talking to someone that followed Virginia basketball closely, and he said, like, he looks like a tall wing with bad hips, and I was like, okay, I didn't know what that meant for him long term, like, in the league, but now when I hear things like this, and he has games like this, I've been thinking of watching him in space trying to guard quicker players and move laterally. I'm like, he looked like a tall wing with bad hips.
And you know what's the thing that's so crazy? Trey is so athletic with bad hips. I have never seen that in my life. Usually, people that can get off the ground really easily have the ability to, the torque, right?
Yeah.
Of their middle area, right?
Torso,
yeah. So I think that's the odd thing. If once Trey finds, like, a sports specialist, right, that can allow him to be more fluid in his motion, I think he can reach another level of athleticism to be better. Also, OG asked, what plays could they run to get the torque? Anybody say torque? I said the torque. Torque.
See, well, look, man.
Looking at them hips now? What the fuck is going on?
But
all right,
question.
OG asked what plays they can run. It's not necessarily plays, right? Just more so like actions, like putting Trey in advantageous spots on the floor to shoot, right? Like, if you're gonna put Trey in the corner, cool. Make sure the pick and roll is to the opposite side, so it's an easier skip pass. If the help side is going to be there, it's an easier alley-oop. Like, just things of that nature this team doesn't do. It's always either he's on the strong side or just out of position at times. So that would be the thing that I would look at if I was this coaching staff.
I mean, have you guys never seen us run the ghost screen for him?
Man,
I mean,
man.
we only have
Shout
two
out-
plays. We only have 2 plays, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, look, Alito, one of the things you said in the chat today, as we move along, here, let's talk a little Brandon Boston.
Yeah.
You said, and I quote, Brandon Boston is what the Pelicans, hope Nickeil Alexander Walker will become here. Brandon Boston finished tonight with 11, 2-2, played 17 minutes. And this is what I was most interested in seeing him play. Not playing 35 minutes a night, not in the starting lineup, not, not playing even in some respects as your point guard off the bench. I wanted to see him be, part of glue, being a glue guy.
Yeah.
Being someone who had to get everything out of the flow of offense, being someone that had to read and react, being someone that had to use his instincts and his skills in a situation where he's way down the totem pole now because so many other players have come back and only took 7 shots, made 5 of them tonight. Another really good, not just a good performance, but a control performance. And I would say, he made some big plays specifically in that fourth quarter. He continues to impress. Lito, do you want to go into more about what you meant comparing him to Nickeil Alexander Walker?
All right. There was a play tonight where I don't remember if it was I think it was Devin Booker, but Javonte was on him at one point. He was guarding him, and the screen came, and Javonte was trying to switch to Book, and Boston looked at him and was like, nah, I'm guarding him. You know what I'm saying? And like you hear the thing, all you heard about Nickeil when he was here was bag talk. He's got this in his bag. His bag is really, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about Brandon Boston is he really had that. You know what I'm saying? He hit a fucking one-leg Euro today. I don't even know. I'm still really confused. It was like a sleight of hand, but it was with his foot. And I was like, I'm really still confused about how bro did that. And he really got so much in this game that the things that they was expecting from Nickeil, while he was an older player, he didn't necessarily like get help with getting to that next level. And like Five said, he needed a vet. He needed CJ, unfortunately, but CJ was traded for him. You know what I'm saying? Like Nickeil would have learned a lot from Christian, just as Brandon Boston is probably learning a lot from Christian and DeJounte and Brandon. Brandon Boston is the difference between him and Nickeil is he has a pedigree. He's been 5-star his whole life.
Yeah.
The one season that in college didn't really do him any favors, but like I think if you give him you play him consistent minutes and you develop him and you just let him just learn and grow as a player. I mean, man, I'm not saying he'll be a multiple-time All-Star, but he's gonna be like a really good player in the NBA.
Lito, I think one of the things that's one of the biggest differences there outside of what Five mentioned, and we'll get to Ross here next, is that Nickeil struggled with being efficient and effective on limited reps. When he had the basketball and guys were hurt and he could play in the preseason or in summer league, everything was great because he had unlimited opportunities to pretty much do whatever he wanted to do. But when the minutes started to turn from 30 minutes to 15 minutes, and now those shot totals go from 15 to 5, and you can't. He got caught in trying to do too much. So now every pressure, you only getting 5 shots. You feel like every one of the shots have to go in. So now you 0 for 3, you 0 for 4. It's like it's over with now. He didn't become, he was a solid defender in New Orleans, but he didn't become the defender that he is now until a couple years later. He gets to Minnesota, so on and so forth, and things end up changing. But he wasn't. He had a role that he knew he had to reach after he left here. And it seemed like that's what Brandon Boston. And I'd be interested to talk to someone that's watched the Clippers or that's been a Clippers observer, what they've noticed from this Brandon Boston versus the guy that they had in Los Angeles. But Ross, do you have anything to add on Boston Juniors?
Yeah, I mean, he clearly, and I mean this is not like some earth-shattering revelation or something, but when you look at his numbers as a starter, he's now started as many games as he has come off the bench. Started 10, he's come off the bench for 10, and the counting numbers are basically the same, but his efficiency is way up. His true shooting is way up. He's shooting like 46% from the field. All of that when he comes off the bench. And, and so it's interesting to me that he averages, around 11 points and a handful of rebounds and picks up some steals coming off the bench in 20-something minutes as the same as he does less efficiently in more minutes. So it's not always a more is better thing. I think he could be one of those players, and then we'll see, right? I'm not, again, to Lito's point, I'm not saying the guy's going to be like a multi-time all-star or something, but could he fill a void off the bench that this team has sort of been missing? I think like something that Jose hasn't been able to provide on the offensive end. Something that some of the other players that like we've brought off the bench in the past, it seems like they've fallen in love with the Tony Snells of the world and Jose and some of these other cats. I mean, I think it was kind of what Hawkins a little bit was supposed to be. Hawkins is more of a shooter. I'm curious, I guess, what y'all see is his as his role possibly moving forward. Like, what type of player do you envision, right? Because I don't see him as like a true point guard. I don't see him as like a standalone wing, and I don't really see him as like a lockdown defender, somebody like that you're bringing off the bench to kind of make a difference defensively. And so I guess what do y'all think from that perspective, if he's going to be part of the rotation moving forward? Like, what does that look like?
I guess I'll try to answer. Hell, he averaged 11 points at Kentucky. He's averaging around 11 points right now, right? It's like he's just impactful at any level he's been at. Also, any amount of minutes he's given, big or small amounts, he can still be impactful to your basketball team. Ross, to be honest with you, I don't know what position he's going to play, right? He's a tweener. I mean, right now, what they used to call tweeners, right? A combo guard. Mm-hmm. That's almost being phased out to a degree where the wings are just almost commandeered the 2, 3, and 4 positions on the basketball floor. And now there's just a point guard, some wings in a 6'10" to 7 foot guy. That's it. So I don't know necessarily where he'll play at, but he's a basketball player. He can dribble, pass, shoot, defend, and even rebound at times. I think you will have minutes. You can find minutes for a guy like that because in any game, you don't know what you'll need. But he'll be able to, appear on your team and play meaningful minutes and kind of figure out. Hopefully you have a plan for it. But we know the Pelicans and how they kind of plan things.
Say, Five.
What's up?
I'm not making this direct comparison, but just style of play. A defined role, like obviously Ross said, he's not going to be a lockdown defender. And I'm not saying he going to play like this guy, but I think he could be a microwave, though. I think he could he could come in. To me, I see like a lot of –
I see Lou Will.
Lou Will, bro. I literally was about to say between Lou Will and Jamal. Like
I think it's funny that he from North Atlanta and just like Lou, like I think it's the same style of player.
Yeah.
If given the opportunity. Now I don't think Brandon will like shoot you out of games at times like Lou Will did, but I also think he has the ability to shoot you into some games. He can possibly get hot at times and be impactful. Also, I think he does some of the dirty things that you need to win a game too. Damn, that's crazy too. But hopefully not. But yeah, I think he can be impactful for your team. This seems like a winning player. You just have to have a winning team to play him on.
Hey man, look, in all great points on Brandon Boston. We talked a little bit about Yves Missy, but before we do that, man, I mean, Justin isn't here to celebrate this 5th win out of 23 attempts on December 5th for the New Orleans Pelicans. So far here, he's currently once again coaching his basketball team, and I have not looked at the score. One of y'all find out, man, did he win the game or not? If they were in the quarterfinals, I believe. I mean, it was an important game. It's a big game tonight for Justin, man. Did they get the win? But since he's not here, we got to show him love somehow, man. But since we about to talk Yves Missy, right? Oh, here's a flashback video here brought to you by 4D.
What is so fun about this? We have a guy that's not going to play next year. Again,
what is fun? Wasn't nobody playing at 21 more?
Our starting center is Messi. This is our if we had to like our projected 5 right now is
Justin. This
what a flashback.
I thought it was
Damn. We getting some production value in this thing. Damn, we look like
this guy.
Trying to look.
Lala cold, man. Man, she cold, man. So, Missy played 25 minutes tonight, man. 9 points, 12 rebounds. Went 3 for 9 from the field. I mean, I'm surprised he was out there for 25 minutes. That's crazy.
No, right there.
All right, yeah. Nah, man. Well, I mean, look, I want y'all to know he called me this morning and said he's out for revenge, and he hung up on me. He said he's out for revenge because I pulled these clips yesterday. That's only something a white man would say to me. He said he called me, I'm out for revenge, and then he hung up. So, you know what I mean? Watch what you say in the chat here, man. You know what I mean? You trying to prove everybody wrong. But
what does mean?
Cole just horny, man. Cole just horny, bro. It just is what it is. We gotta call it what it is.
Little gas station pills are low, Cole. You got to turn it off, man.
Santa baby, this lip was sable under the tree for me.
Why do I feel the need to sing this song?
Bro, it's crazy, bro.
Cole,
listen, good girl.
Cole, you entering some interesting territory, man. I'm telling you, the chance was.
We might have to get this joint.
Shout out to Cole, man, off the 4th dimension, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Cole, what part of BR are you from, bro?
Why you telling me to stay off the gas station pills, though, man? What you mean by that, Lito?
He on that honey gold weed, man. He OD right now, sir.
Not the HGW, bro.
You gotta tell
horny gold weed is crazy.
He gotta tell Habib to get it from behind the counter, man.
Yeah. Not the one up top.
Horny goat weed is crazy. It's crazy.
Nah, the one in the orange pack.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's nasty, man. That's nasty. Wait. We got the fit.
We got truthers.
Hey,
we got HGW.
Came in defense.
We've lost control.
We lost control. Well, I mean, look, with all the players coming back, here's an observation that I made. We may not ever see Jamal Cain again.
Who?
We may not ever see Jamal Cain again. And you know what that means, 5?
I'm from the home of serve packs and things. Quick to stab their brother in the back for change. And as a youngin', I was taught the game. Used to watch my daddy while he cut that cane.
You know my favorite part of that is the
bro.
Because why? Because
The crazy part about I've seen this clip so many times, like, and I've never heard the song. What the fuck is this song?
We don't even know the name of the
I
song.
don't even think the song exists. I think this is the only part of the song that exists.
It was a skit. It was just like a skit that lives out there somewhere.
Like, bro.
If you watch the video, they are sharing the money. That's the funniest part to me. Like, why are you sharing money with your homeboy? And never mind.
Ross said it's a bad stack of bills, man.
It is terribly aligned bills.
You know what I mean? It would not be accepted or approved at your local strip club. But hey, man.
I don't know about that.
Trey.
What's the name of the song for real?
Ginya Boy.
Ginya Boy.
Lito.
No doubt.
Ginya Boy is insane. I ain't never heard nobody call Virginia Ginya. First of all.
Oh my god.
Because that's way too close to what you think it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep.
Wasting your time, drinking that wine, smoking that smoke and doing that coke, dealing that dope, giving up hope. School is a joke. Gang banging.
This is for our dog Randy Brown, man. You know, the Randy Brown, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, man, for donating $2. You know what I mean? Salute.
2 pieces.
Man, we gotta get these comments. Y'all got anything else, man? Anything else y'all want to talk about? The Pelicans winning another game. They about to go on a streak, y'all. They about to go on a streak.
Let's talk about that for a second. This group, this group that played tonight. Okay, can they go on a streak?
What kind of streak?
Just any kind of streak, and ignoring whether I think that's good for the organization long term or not. Do you think they can go on a win streak and maybe by the end of the month have us thinking about this season in a different way?
Man.
Whatever that looks like to you. If maybe that's a 4-game win streak, maybe that's a 10-game. Sorry about what?
Dog, I'm gonna be honest. The only way this team can make me look at it differently if the coach is fired. And the only way to do that is to continue to lose games. And to be honest with y'all, right? I know people are starting to get healthy, but this team is addicted to getting injured, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're closer to them being injured again than being healthy. So I'll be honest, I don't see them going on a 10-game winning streak. I think that's being facetious to say the least. Like, nah, let's go on a 10-game losing streak to get the coach fired. I mean, not on purpose, but maybe on purpose. I think that's the most beneficial thing that you can do if you're this team.
No, I agree. I was just asking if any of y'all thought that they could go on a little 3 or 4 game or kind of change momentum or something.
I think they gotta get lucky in ways that, like Five just mentioned, they just typically are. Like, it's gonna take, because it has to be this team, this group. I don't think you can lose any of the main guys that we watched them play tonight.
No.
Like, any of them. They all have to be available. It can't be like, CJ's out. Maybe you can win a game against certain guys. When you talk about them going on a stretch, they need 10, 15 straight games of a clean bill of health from the more important, because to me, the reason they win tonight is because Phoenix just ran out of talent.
Yeah,
they ran out of talent. Like, Book didn't have that great of a game. They did a solid job, but of trapping him. But he still put up 28 points. It was, you got If you'd have told me, if you told a Suns fan, well, no, fuck that. If you told me that Royce O'Neal had 19 points tonight, like I would say, all right, well, you know, how much Pelicans lose by? I mean, what? Like Royce O'Neal got you 19 on 9 shots, and you lost. You got 13 and 10. Grayson Allen had 10 assists tonight, but they ran out of guns. They ran out of, and the Pelicans had periods where they had 2 or 3 of the best players on the floor versus maybe a Bill lineup. You got to split Booker and Bill. Now, if KD was on the floor, it probably would have been a different situation. But even Tyus Jones had a solid game. Is that going to happen when you play, you know, the Thunder on Friday or Saturday? You going to be able to out-talent them? Can you do that against the Rockets? Can you do that against the Knicks at home? The Nuggets? Back to coaching.
Clay just said something crazy.
Crazy, right?
Like,
right?
We not putting that on the screen, but Clay, you need
dog.
You
get
Clay.
Yo,
that's dog.
You need to go think about things. Talking like that, Clay.
All right, we typically don't cleanse the chat, but this is a family show and we hold everybody accountable.
We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting it paper. You know what I'm talking about?
But going back to what Five was just saying, I mean, what you were saying, I think, Chris, like it is. I don't think we're going to go on any kind of win streak, but it is crazy how much regular season basketball is contingent on like having just that one extra player that's better, right? Like tonight we played 6 NBA players or 7, and they probably only played 5. Or, you know, I'm talking about good players like Trey. It's where Trey coming off the bench, Brandon Boston played pretty well, and then you had the starting 5. It's like it just makes having one very good player that can come off the bench, fill in if there's foul trouble, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. I mean, just bullshit games you can win in the NBA by simply just having a couple more players, not all stars, but just a couple more like players.
Right, because you know, and here's the thing: like they're now like they're desperate. They gotta feel like we don't have many more games to lose this early. Right, we have 13 games, but you know, behind 500. So while we're talented, and and it maybe 2 weeks to a month, others will return. A week from now, maybe Jordan Hawkins will be back. Like there are some teams that they should be able to overwhelm, but like we just haven't seen it. We've seen this team, this group for the most part, minus Jordan Hawkins, twice this year. No, actually, this is the first time because Trey Murphy missed the first game that they played. So we don't even know we don't know their true weaknesses yet. We haven't seen enough to know their strengths as a group yet. You know what I mean? You want to say that they're getting in transition. DeJounte had, and we got to talk to DeJounte at some point. I don't know. It's still your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn. Yeah. Y'all don't have to do that. Oh, hold on. Dre. I've been watching this team for 20 plus years, dog. What the fuck is faith?
Oh, man.
What is faith?
In a basketball team.
What is faith?
And it's not like this isn't like Golden State starting starting 8-14. Like a team that literally never makes the playoffs started 4-18. Like, yes, I have absolutely no faith. Like, bro, no faith. Like, what you mean? Give me a reason to have faith. This ain't
like we don't know.
The Pelicans organization sells you enough faith. Don't come here looking for faith.
No,
don't come here looking for faith.
This is not a
23 years. That's kind of crazy when you say it that way. But it's true. So I mean, look. If we talking like just talent, if this Pelicans team pull up to LA Fitness versus a lot of other team, or Lifetime, versus a lot of other team, they just ain't no refs, and they just out there scrimmaging. Yeah. Hey, I get them an opportunity to win most games, but it's hard for me to say in this league. Shit, how many 5 games? I used to talk about this. Like Grub used to mention this all the time. The Pelicans have a hard time, healthy, hurt, just winning 5 games in a row. Period. Under any circumstance.
Yeah, and you know why?
Give that to Willie Green and tell him I want him out of here in 24 hours. And 23 of them are already gone. You understand?
And 23 of them are already gone.
And that's the key right here, Lito. They almost lost this game. They did things that you can't afford to do. Miss free throw. Grayson Allen hits that three off of, offensive rebounds, all the things, not being able to get the basketball in. Then, they had a timeout, got the ball in. CJ splits the pair of free throws. The way that they were up 8, then allowed the Suns to score 10 straight. Like, all the things, at some point, you were supposed to say, this game is over. Y'all go home, Phoenix. Like, we need to win this game. We wanted more than you. Y'all, great story. The book didn't drop 40 tonight. This is over. This should not have been a 126 to 124 game.
No.
You can't afford to play this way against the Knicks. I'm not telling you that they won't go on a streak, but how can we say it, a 5-8 team? What type of audacity would it take for us to say a 5-18 team under any circumstance is going on a winning streak?
And to be honest with you, Chris, what did they do tonight that led you to believe that they can replicate it the next game?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a good question. And because I was thinking about the same thing. It's like, I want to say it was nice to see them score in the 120s. But the problem with that is it took 21 points from Brandon in the third to kind of get you even there against an undermanned Phoenix team. No KD, no Nurkic. Like
So an outlier of a thing to happen, to occur, just to be. This is, to be honest, it's like an average score of the NBA at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are putting up 120s like they're nothing. It's going to be tough against the Thunder and Knicks to put up 120. Okay, what are you going to do to combat that? Play better defense? Try to out-effort them? You might want to think of a strategy to try to beat them. Maybe.
You're going to be able to, you think the Pelicans are they going to outscore everybody every night? Are they going to out-execute? Are they going to out-shot make? Are they going shot for shot? I don't know. We don't know this group's DNA. And let's say Ross, let's say they're good. Let's say they do go on a streak. And let's say they're healthy. What's to say that if number one, if Redacted comes back and joins this team, we're not going through a whole new process of trying to figure out shit all over again, as it always happens. So, look, talking about wins is way more fun than talking about losses, unless you can, at least for me, but I can't, let's see Saturday. Can they beat the Thunder? Let's see.
Let them do it. Oh,
yeah, let them do it. Yeah, we'll be ready.
Winter's coming.
Winter. That's what they said, though. They said that, right? We are gonna get a quick Scott Vicknair commercial here and there, and then get into you guys' fan questions, and then we getting the hell out of here, man. Scott Vicknair.
Hey, I know you. You helped my cousin after her car accident. Ever since you won her case, she's been doing great.
Oh yeah, Melissa. She told me she had a cousin who works here.
What can I get for you?
How about a large hot coffee, please?
1 hot coffee for Mr. Scott Vicknair.
It's David.
Excuse me?
I'm David Vicknair, and this is my law partner, Brad Scott.
Hey.
Wait, so then which one of you is Scott Vicknair?
Scott Vicknair, injury attorneys, we fight for the win.
Still like platinum song. I don't know why. Like, why is it started? Why they say my dog got a?
That's crazy.
You
just gotta have faith in your head, dog.
Yeah, see, now there you go. Have faith. Have faith that the hair was going to do. I honestly thought Herb was going to be on a minutes restriction.
Yeah,
Ross, why wasn't Herb Jones on a minutes restriction?
Because only one person gets a minutes restriction, but Herb was the only one I didn't think would be on a minutes restriction, just because of his injury with it was a shoulder or whatever. he was the only one that I sort of expected to just come back and play a bunch. Plus, if we're being honest, we've been so fucking bad defensively. I figured they just let Herb play all 48 and cross your fingers. They've been so fucking bad on defense. My God.
Shout out to Cole, man. Like, Cole, I'm sorry they don't have one in in BR, man, but they got one in the city. And if y'all don't know, if y'all late to the show,
go get them. Chris.
Tots.
Chris is a big fan of the tater tot. An elite side dish.
Yeah. Anyway, 5. This from Jonathan Williams. I don't care if they win. Season over. More wins means Willie here longer. Get that bum out of here.
Yeah, Jonathan, bro, you trying to steal my tweets, steal my style, man? Dang, bro. But yeah, man, get that guy up out of here. There's nothing that benefits this team that this guy can provide. So let's just move on, start anew, or start something anew, build some kind of foundation for this team to try to learn and get better, or build some value back in the players so we can trade them and become a better team later on. You won't do that under Willie Green.
Lito, I love this question. Does Brandon Boston play over Jordan Hawkins when he returns week and a half or so?
Probably so.
Who is Jordan Hawkins back in the rotation when he's healthy?
I don't know. I'm not like, I'm saying for real, like, I don't know.
I think no.
Ooh,
I think I think for all the same reasons you've been talking about, Chris. I think, like, it feels to me like just look at the minutes distribution tonight. Like, I think Willie Green is playing for his job. David Griffin still has some like delusional thought about the Pelicans getting back into this season and becoming a threat to get into the play-in and all this other shit. I don't think Willie. Let me take it back. He won't get back in the rotation. I think Willie Green's still the coach. I just don't think they're going to mess with a player like Hawk that's at this point in his career still a bit unpredictable.
So
I don't mean DMPs. I don't mean like not playing. I mean, like,
does he take any of Javonte Green's minutes?
I wouldn't count on it, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. 5. What you think? You muted, bro.
Yeah, my bad. I'm kind of want to agree with Ross, bro. It's probably leaning like if Willie Green's still here, Hawk is not it's not high on his list of players that need to be played. Building value in Jordan Hawkins doesn't do him any good right now. So he needs players that are going to help him win his style of basketball. Yeah. So, and that seems to be Brandon Boston at this point.
Man, it felt like there were moments even in this game where the offense kind of got dry, stagnant. You didn't have any kind of motion. Guys just standing around looking at each other. Felt like, man, having a guy like Jordan Hawkins who you can run off curls, so you can do some of the things that we talk about as a movement shooter would help. But again, whose minutes does he? I mean, can he take Brandon Boston's minutes? I mean, I don't think you can afford to play Hawk and have Boston off of the floor. Is it Javonte Green? Javonte made a few plays tonight. We know what he can't do offensively. It's an interesting dilemma.
You know what's crazy? I've been kind of thinking about this. Willie Green has a type, and I was thinking about Pineapple Express, like when it was on the couch. He was like, "You ain't got no style, motherfucker." Like he doesn't really have a style. But guys that do have a style, he doesn't like to align himself with. So think about Jonas, think about Trey Murphy, think about Jordan Hawkins. These guys have offensive games. Like, they need the basketball in their hands to be successful at times. Like, you have to run some actions for them. That requires some thought, some planning, some discipline to get guys involved that aren't necessarily like the main guys. Like, you still got to be able to get them involved as well as getting your main guys involved. when you have guys like Herb, Dyson, Javonte Green, like, no, they don't. Going back even to Dyson again, like, they don't need the ball. They don't need plays ran for them. They're just accessories out there, and they'll be able to just play the way into the basketball game. They'll be able to offensive rebound and get putbacks, catch and shoot threes. And I don't know if Willie Green wants those other players to play like them, but that's just not how it works. So he will rely on them just playing through, like, hey, that's how they can be successful. It's not how the game works. It's not how it is. Like, you got to be able to coach every player differently, but also towards the same result. And he doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, you gotta be able to reach multiple skill sets. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ross, thoughts on DeJounte tonight?
I thought he was better. I thought he was better. Lito talked about it earlier. That it seemed like he did I thought he did a better job of just like managing the game a little bit. He didn't turn the ball over very much. Maybe only 1 or 2 turnovers tonight. I thought overall he was better. I think it's tough, right? Because he came over here, you have all these expectations and stuff. I truly believe the less you ask of DeJounte from like a scoring, or DeJounte, you have to go score 20 something. You've got to go get 10 assists. Like, outside of, if you don't put parameters on him like that, and he has other good players around him, and he can distribute, he can kind of manage the game, I think he's going to be in a better spot. So, like, he's one of those players that's going to need others around him that can help, and you're going to see the best version of him in that way. So I thought he was much better tonight. I thought the previous handful of games he really didn't play very well.
Lito, there's a lot of star comments in here that I honestly did not put in here about your hair. Do you want to tell the people?
This might be 5-second with Lito time.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're right. We'll save that for the end, about you addressing all these people that want to know what the hell is going on with your hair. But Yves Missy has to be better at free throw. Shout out to Samuel, man, with the $5 bill to Finball, man.
I got 5 on it.
We might need to get that.
That's gonna be a clip.
That's gonna be a clip.
That's definitely gonna be a clip. Yep, definitely.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Lito, what you feel about this? I think he's speaking to Missy closing at one point in time or period with this team.
Yeah.
Samuel thinks that he has to be better at free throw shooting to be in a closing lineup.
Yeah. I don't disagree. I think eventually he probably will be. I mean, he has a nice his shot looks decent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as a basketball player, you just got to be better at free throws in general. So yeah, I agree.
Trey Murphy needs to be our Evan Mobley. Now look, that's crazy on a lot of different levels. But I will say this: it was a specific coach that took over Cleveland this year that was very important and getting Evan Mobley involved more with the basketball.
What's his name?
More of a thinker.
What's his name?
What'd you say?
What's his name? What's the coach name?
Kenny Atkinson. Yeah. Very, 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 very critical in deciding, hey, I know we have Garland here. I know we have Donovan Mitchell. I know we have, all these other different guys, but hey, Evan got to have a basketball too. And now look, man, he looked like baby Giannis deer out there, man. So, let's keep moving. But no, he can't be Evan Mobley. It's just not. Let's see. Oh, there's another one here. Trey can't shoot off the curl like Hawk does. Hawk's a movement shooter, but coaching staff still needs to get him the ball in scoring positions. 5?
No, he can't shoot off curls. No, not at this point. And right now, it's not the time to try to put Trey into movements where he's coming off curls and trying to shoot the basketball. It's just that's just not his style of shooting. Hawk is a movement shooter. I mean, he's grown into it. He did it in high school, won a high school national championship, did it in college, won a college national championship. Probably could do it on an NBA team if allowed to. So, yeah.
Lito, Boston got some nice handles and doesn't mind What are your thoughts?
Read the question. I can't see. I can only.
You can't read.
No, my Ray Charles just kicked in.
Can you read?
No, my glaucoma just kicked in. I need to hear it.
You need to hear it.
Final question here for Russ. If Zion comes back, who do y'all think will benefit and suffer the most?
You know who will benefit the most? Willie fucking Green.
Yeah. Him. So the fans gonna suffer the most is what you're saying.
Yeah, we gonna suffer the most.
Yeah. I mean, at least he was on the bench, man. You know what I'm saying? Smiling, look happy, didn't look like he was had a little funny cigarettes tonight. He looked ready, man. He looked, he'll be back. He'll be back in 2 weeks, man.
Christ, man.
Two weeks, reevaluated in 2 weeks, man. Zion on the way. All right, look. Before we get to 5 seconds with Lito, man, shout out to all of y'all that pulled up, man. All of y'all that we still didn't have enough likes, but this was another successful show. If y'all are not already, please, man. You know what, Lito? What would Justin say?
Dag nabbit, guys. I really need you guys to just follow through and just hit the bell notification for the like button so you know when we go live. That way, when you come onto the show, you just hit the like button, guys. It's simple. Free tots.
Gotta show love to Fourth Dimension, Theo's, man. We DraftKings Sportsbook, John Deere, Sunshine, and Standard Mortgage. Yeah, there go
Theo's.
Man, listen, that code at the bottom ain't going nowhere, man.
You hear that? That's empty.
Yeah, that's it.
That's just ice in there. That's how you know it's time to end the show. That's just ice in there.
It's over with. It's over with. Before we get to 5 seconds with Lito, I told Fox, shout out to my dog Fox, man. He about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I said the next time the Pelicans win, I will play this song. This is not him, but he says this song reminds him of Smokey Robinson. So I want you guys' thoughts, and then we get into 5 seconds with Lito. Shout out to Fox, man.
Yeah, DSJ. Get 20 racks, 40 racks. Let's get a bag. Let's get a bag. This ain't no trap house. No Waffle House.
Any thoughts?
Man, I'm gonna have to get a lot. I'm gonna get more restrictive about the shit I let y'all put in this damn videos y'all uploading. Dude, that's somebody. I ain't even somebody's uncle. That's somebody's granddad on there acting like that.
Listen to Dave Blunt's grandpa, Dave Runts.
Yeah. I don't know who that is, man. But shout out to OG. That's an old man, But
Waffle House.
but listen, it's not a trap house either. But you know what it is? It's 5 seconds with Lito time. Yeah.
Audio Jungle.
Yeah. Hey, I know what Chris want me to talk about for my 5 seconds, but I ain't gonna do that. I want to talk about this. This is important, and from the perspective of not from the perspective of how spirituality keep people enslaved. I ain't gonna go that route, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say it like this. There's a quote by an author. The quote is, his name is Leonard Sweet. The future is not something we enter. The future is something we create. So while you want us to have faith, literally, Chris said it took 23 years for us to get to this point of being a fan, or his point of being a fan, like he's seen this entire thing. When you think about the future, you think about it as something beyond your control. We would like for the organization, for us to have faith in them, for something to be regulatory, something that they take and they make good on their promise as an organization, right? Because it's easy to think that tomorrow is just gonna happen regardless, but you got to take steps towards making tomorrow happen for you. Tomorrow go happen, and then what? you gotta view it as as something like within reach, not something that's far away from you. Like, so if you want something different to happen, you gotta do something different, Dennis.
I feel like you need a collection plate, man. Well, look, man, for 5, for Lito, for Ross, for Chaz, for Justin, for Lala.
Here's my nice house. Why come Pastor got to have a nice car? Don't ask. I said don't ask. I said don't ask. No questions. Just give the money.
Hey, man, I got right here.
Brother Dickie, get the collection plate right on that side. Get it around on that side.
Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all. The Pelicans got to win. Will they win again? I don't know, but we're going to see y'all Saturday night. We out.
Yeah.